Robert Kraft, before the game on Sunday, he called Tom Brady the best NFL player of all time. Do you agree with what you've seen so far?
I'm gonna let you answer that first.
I do not agree. Only because when you start entering the pantheon of NFL greats and you start talking about Jim Browns and you start talking about Deion Sanders, guys that changed the game from different positions. Now, if you want to, we could literally take the quarterback position and put it aside, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's different. Yeah. Tom Brady is not the greatest football player of all time.
Yeah.
Right? All he is an extension of the coach, the very best extension of the coach that you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Right? But no, he's not the best football player of all time. He's not, again, you're talking Barry Sanders, you're talking Gale Sayers, you're talking on a defensive end, Lawrence Taylor. You're talking Jim Brown.
Monsters.
You're talking,
Barry Sanders.
No. I mean.
Now, what about QBs?
That's viable.
Right.
That's viable. But let's take the QBs out of the best football player of all time conversation because of the fact that you can be the greatest QB of all time and be nowhere near the athlete of these other guys.
Yeah.
And, I get it. And you can have that discussion.
Yeah.
But
he's very happy. He's biased, but it's cool.
Right. Let's take the quarterbacks out.
Yeah.
Let's take the quarterbacks out. Does that make sense?
Nah. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. How do you feel about that?
I don't think he's the best NFL player of all time. I think if you say the best QB, in my opinion, absolutely he is. But there is room to argue, even if you're the greatest of all time, if you're going to say that other people in different positions have changed the game. Like you said, you were just raving about Pat Mahomes. He didn't have a bad game this season. So next season, what do you expect from Pat Mahomes? He's the off season to get smarter, to get stronger, faster, better, work harder. What do you expect from him next season? You expect him to come out, maybe one touchdown a game, or do you expect him to break 50 touchdowns again next year? I'm expecting him to go over 50 again.
Well, you do get to a point when it comes to potential and development and even statistical potential that you can't go any further. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get 60 touchdown passes.
Well, I'm more so talking from the standpoint of people that can change the game.
Yes.
You got Aaron Rodgers.
He's already there.
You got a Pat Mahomes.
He's already there.
So it's like can we really throw QBs out of the conversation of being potentially being one of the best NFL players ever? Is what my question is.
I think we have to because of the fact that you can be the best QB and not be the best athlete. So there's a vagueness around that makes that a little bit difficult to say Tom Brady's the greatest football player of all time.
Mm-hmm. It's hard
because
I mean, the hardware says yes, but the hardware is not, in my opinion, what encompasses the greatest athlete or greatest player of all time.
Right.
There's a little bit more to it than that.
If you're drafting for 1 year fantasy players, you're picking for 1 year all time. You're picking for 1 year fantasy draft, right? A week before Labor Day. All time. Mm-hmm. Who's the first player that you picked?
It ain't Tom Brady.
Not Tom Brady. It's either Cam Newton or Pat Mahomes.
No, you're talking about all
fantasy.
time.
All time. Oh, well, that is for Jason. That is all time.
Because Jason's 19.
Hey, was fantasy around when you guys were young?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Fantasy popped up for me probably like.
Nah, we was in college. Fantasy started popping. I was going to
fantasy
the way it
drafts. Is now. They were doing salary cap.
Right. Well, no, I was doing fantasy drafts, meeting in people's houses in person
on the board.
First one I did was on AOL.com.
Right.
Oh man.
Right.
That makes it sound really old.
Back then or now, when you guys were in college, not that long ago, who was putting up better fantasy numbers than Cam Newton and Pat Mahomes? I don't think there was too many.
I mean,
Kurt Warner.
Okay.
Kurt Warner was scorching.
All right.
He was killing it.
Randall Cunningham had a year. Culpepper when
Oh, yeah.
Randall Cunningham and Culpepper both
with Randy Moss.
ate big off of Randy Moss early.
Okay.
Randy Moss.
Yeah. No, enough
Randy
said.
Moss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Marshall Faulk.
Right. And
Monster.
then you got guys that don't get stats like Dion.
Yeah.
Dion took away half a field, like literally half the field gone.
You didn't throw to his side.
Okay.
Right.
Like that's impactful. Like the numbers won't say that he got 100, interceptions. That's
Right.
because nobody would throw.
Right.
Because they
Going
knew it was
to
going to be
that
picked.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he would go in on offense and mess you up.
Oh,
Because everybody be watching for where Dion is.
And kickoff returns.
Right. Kickoff returns, punt returns. He scored touchdowns every way, regularly.
Yeah.
He was
Like-
a Legion of Boom before.
Regularly.
And then after the game, he would go play for the Braves.
Right. And he still went and played for the Braves.
Helicopter ride.
I was looking at his baseball stats the other day, and I'm like, yo, this dude literally played like 10 major league seasons.
You know what he said? He was a little upset. He said, he said he wanted Kyler Murray to pick what he wants to do. He said, but I wish that I'd have put more into baseball. If I could have played just baseball, he said, I've been even
But he
greater than what
tried
I
because
was.
and the thing about him, he was going into the minors every year.
Yeah.
He was going back and forth. So on his major league team, he would play in the majors and in the minors like every year. So this is Dion riding buses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With millions in his pocket. It must be the money. That dude.
Yeah.
That dude.
Too legit. Too legit. You remember that?
No, I don't.
All right.
I'm letting you guys have your time.
All right.